Assalamualaikum guys and welcome to my channel. In my previous video we have learned about CI/CD pipelines while having our source code in GitHub and building it through Azure DevOps pipelines and deploying to app services web applications. Today's video is a continuation of my previous video and we will learn about how to deploy on Azure virtual machines. So guys, in today's tutorial I will be using the same MVC application project which I have created in last tutorial. We are not changing much in the code. So in today's tutorial we are, the change is only the deployment side, which is Azure virtual machines instead of web application in app services plan. So if you would like to see the project, that's already available in my GitHub account, so with the name of CI/CD MVC application. So guys, let's try to go to Azure portal, and what we will do, we will create two virtual machines here. You can take only one virtual machine, but I just want to teach you one important point, how to access it outside Azure. So that's why I'm taking two virtual machines. So what we will do, I have already logged into Azure portal, and what I will do, I will try to go home. So that's how your landing page looks like, and I can search here virtual machines and it will take you to the virtual machines landing page. Now I will click on the create and select the first option, which is Azure virtual machines. Okay, it will be asking couple of options, and we need to provide all the details, and then the virtual machines will be created for you shortly. I'm not going into the details of each and everything because my main target is to deploy on virtual machines rather than having a tutorial of creating virtual machines itself. So what I will do, first of all, I will select the subscription, which I do have already, Azure subscription 1 in my case, and then I need to create either a new resource group or I can select an existing one. So in last tutorial we have created dev, so I am using the same development one, and the important bit is here you need to give virtual machine name. So let's say we can say VM-001. You can give any machine name, so according to your own naming convention. And the region, you need to select the region which is close to your location. So I'm close to the Australia, so I'm selecting Australia Southeast, and I'm leaving availability options as of now by default, no infrastructure redundancy. So if you need redundancy, like if one machine fails, then it should move to the other one, so you have to work on that one. And then leaving the security type as standard. Now the important thing is you have multiple options, so you can select there are Linux images, Oracle, Windows. So what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to select Windows Server 2019 Data Center Generation 2, and you can see the images, all the images if you wish. There are multiple one, it's loading, so again it's up to you. There are so many options available. I'm going back to my virtual machine page and then leave it unchecked. Most of the stuff is default. The important bit is here, see all sizes. So the size will tell you how much memory you need, how much virtual CPUs you are needing, RAM, data disk, and input output operations, temporary storage. So yes, all those things. And as you go high in the configuration, you can see the price will be increasing. So yep, so you can see there are prices, so it depends how much costly machine you want to take, so it's up to you. So so there are free services as well, so you can see this one, there is one option, free services, right? And if you wish the free one, but of course it will have only one CPU, and then RAM is 1 GB and 2 data disk. So what I will do, I will try to get the good configuration as of now for my demo. So I'm selecting this one, DS1, because it's a costly one, but I need it for, demo, so I don't mind. I will delete it after the tutorial. So I'm selecting this one. So let's select this size for my machine. Okay. Close. Sorry, this is the one I have selected. And then you need to provide username and password, which is quite important. So you need to remember that one, and that's the administration account, and that will help you to log in to your virtual machines. So what I am doing here, I'm giving here DevOps, and the password I'm giving, you can have your own password. Right, so just try to give some strong password, and then leave the inbound ports, allow selected ports to the default one. So that's quite important. So what I'm doing for this one, I am selecting HTTP and HTTPS as well, so that I can connect to this virtual machines with these protocols, inbound protocols. And yeah, the next thing, just try to review and create. There are a couple of other options as well, but I'm just bypassing those one. I'm not interested in that one. So yep, my validation is passed. So you can see here, so the validation has been passed. So what I need to do, I need to create virtual machines. Just click on create. It will take some time, and you can see here it's deploying. So deployment is in progress, so shortly it will be there. So you can see some of the resources are created, and IP address has been created, network security group created, network card created, and the VM is also in the in progress. So you can see shortly it will be there. Now you can see the same page is showing the message, your deployment is complete. So that means the VM is ready to use. So that's pretty good. I will click on overview. Just go to the virtual machines, and then you can see there is one virtual machine which we have selected and configured, that has been created. So that's pretty good. So one VM is ready for you to use. What I will do, I will try to create another virtual machine. So what we can do, while we are already on the virtual machines landing page, I can just create and select Azure virtual machines. I will try to do a little bit quick. So select the environment resource group, and then provide the name VM-002, the same region I want to put my virtual machines, standard, and yeah, the same image, and yeah, so the size I want to use a good one, and then the username, admin username. So I'm using the same username for both the machines. You can have your own convention. So what I'm doing, so the difference in this virtual machine and the last one, what I'm trying to do, I'm just trying to select only RDP. So that's the only one which I'm doing it, right? I'm not selecting HTTP and HTTPS, so that's the difference. And then we can see how it is different to the previous one. So what I will do, I will try to click on review and create. Let's see, the validation will be passed shortly. Oops, so there is some issue in the validation, so let's try to look into that one. So what's the issue? Where it is complaining. So I'm not 100% sure why it has complained in the first instance, but it seems like some intermittent issue. So the validation has been passed successfully. You can see here. And now what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to click create, and it will create the second virtual machine for me shortly. So yeah, you can see the deployment is in progress, and you can see the resources shortly. It will be listed down here. At the moment there are no results, but as soon as the deployment will be successful, it will try to create resources. You can see the virtual machine 2 network security group has been created, IP address has been configured, network card has been created, and now it is trying to deploy second virtual machine. So you can see the second deployment is complete now, and our second virtual machine is ready to use as well. We can go to the resource, and in fact let's go to the virtual machines, and then it should list 2 virtual machines. So you can see there are 2 virtual machines which we have created recently, so they are available and ready to use. So the other thing, you need to consider the status which is running. So that means you can go and try to log in these virtual machines and configure whatever you want to do. Now go to your Azure DevOps portal where you have created your CI/CD pipeline, and if I click on the pipeline, so that was the pipeline we have created in the last tutorial, and at the same time try to create the release pipeline for this one. For the same, let me edit this one, and then you can see at the moment it is trying to deploy to Azure App Services. So previously it was named as Dev. I have renamed to deploy to App Services Web Application. So what we will do, we will extend this CD part which is trying to deploy to App Services. We will try to deploy on the virtual machines. Before extending this pipeline, what we need to do, we need to come in deployment groups section. So you can see it here. So deployment groups, right? So come in here, and then you can see at the moment there is no deployment group available for this particular project. So I will try to create a new one. I can give it a name of development environment. So try to click on create, and then it has created a deployment group with the name of dev, right? So you can see it is also asking where you want to deploy your what is included in the deployment group, the operating system. So you can see whether you can see according to your own requirements whether you want to deploy on Windows or Linux, so whatever your scenario looks like. So for us, we have created Windows virtual machines, so we will be targeting Windows. Keep the Windows selected, and then you can see there is a registration script on the in the blue panel, right? So this is quite important, and in this registration script you can see there is an option of use a personal access token in the script authentication. So just make sure it has checked, otherwise it will give you authentication issues. So what we need to do, we need to copy a script to the clipboard, right? And then we need to go back to our virtual machines. So now we are back to Azure portal, and we can see we have 2 virtual machines listed in the virtual machines section. So what I will do, I will try to click on first one, VM001. So just try to keep that in your mind. Whatever I am doing with virtual machine 1, you have to do exactly same with the second one. So you can see there is a connect option available in the virtual machine 1. So try to click on connect, and then the protocol, select remote desktop protocol RDP, and it is showing you the RDP file with the public IP address. So I will select or click on download RDP file, it will download the remote desktop protocol connection file. So let's try to click on that one, select connect, and then it will be trying to connect to your Azure portal. So you need to log into that one. I will select a different account and provide the credentials which I have given during the creation of Azure virtual machines. And in my case, it was DevOps username, and then enter the password which you have given, and if you wish you can click remember me and try to click OK. So yes, I need to connect this virtual machines, and you can see it is connecting to my VM 001. So it's going to the data center and try to log into the Azure virtual machine. So it will be there shortly. Yep. I'm connected to my virtual machine now. So guys, we are now connected to the Azure virtual machine 001. What we need to do here, we need to perform 3 actions here. Number one thing, we need to install web server, which is IIS, Internet Information Services, because we need to host web application. Second thing, because our web application is targeting .NET 6, so we need to install .NET 6 hosting bundle on this machine. And the third thing, we need to execute PowerShell script, which we copied from the deployment group, so that we can continuously deploy on these virtual machines. These are the 3 things we need to perform. So the very first thing what we can do, we can try to install web servers. So for that one, what we can do, server manager is already open. We need to click on add roles and features. We need to perform next option, next, again select the machine, and now what you need to do, you need to look into the web server, into this list, and I can see here is a web server, right? And yeah, so that's the one. So you need to select this particular web server and check it, and once you are selecting this one, you just need to click add features, next, again next, and it will just keep the selection default and finally install it. So it will trigger the installation and it will install the web servers in the background. The second thing what you need to do, you need to install ASP.NET hosting bundle for .NET 6 framework. So guys, you can see the installation of web server is completed. So I will close this dialog and just try to make sure I will go in the start menu, start run menu, and I will just write it down, INET manager. It will open web server for me. So yes, I can see the web server is already installed here with the default website, which looks pretty good. Okay, the second thing what we need to do here, we need to install here .NET hosting bundle. So let's try to click on here, Internet Explorer. Yes, and I will try to search here .NET 6 hosting bundle. So you can see on this website which is offering download .NET 6, on the right hand side you can see ASP.NET Core runtime, and here you can see the hosting bundle which is here. So what I will do, I will download this hosting bundle. Okay, what I need to do, I need to execute and install this bundle. Yep, Microsoft.NET 6.07 Windows Server Hosting. I agree and try to install it. You can see the installation of the hosting bundle is successfully completed. I will close this dialog. And now we have successfully set up 2 things. One is the web server and the second thing is the .NET hosting bundle. Now the third thing what we need to do, we need to register this particular VM and we need to execute PowerShell script which we copied from the Azure DevOps server. Let me quickly show that PowerShell script again. So we were in the deployment groups on the DevOps portal, and we have copied this script. So, and make sure your personal access token in the script, it should be checked so that your authentication will not create mess. So I will copy the script to the clipboard. Let's again go into the virtual machine and try to open PowerShell editor. So what we need to do, we need to make sure we are opening PowerShell in admin mode. Just make sure run as administrator. Once you have opened PowerShell, just try to right click, it will paste the script automatically, right? And press enter. It will take some time to execute the script and register this machine under the DevOps agent, and after that you can do the continuous deployment. So you can see the script is started and it starts showing Azure pipelines. So it's going to execute okay, so it is giving me the error, the personal access token has expired. So what we will do, we will try to refresh the token and copy the script again. So what I will do, I will refresh my browser so that it can get the fresh token and check the use personal access token again and copy it again, and then go back to my virtual machine. So I will clear the old one and then try to paste it again. Hit the enter and then see what it comes back. So yes, the script is working. So my authentication is successful this time, and it is asking enter deployment group tags for agents. So I press enter for no. So I don't want any tags as of now. So you can see it has successfully added the agent. So this is the message. Successfully added the agent, right? So what it is asking now, it is asking the user account. So remember guys, we have created the admin account and we need to use the same admin account to log in to this Azure virtual machines. So I have given DevOps. So here DevOps. So just try to give the same password which you had created earlier for the admin account. So what it is asking now, enter whether to prevent service starting immediately after configuration, press enter for no. So I will just press enter. So you can see the service agent started successfully. So if you can see, so my agent is successfully configured, so which is good. So guys, we have done all the 3 actions. So we have installed the web server, we have installed hosting bundle for ASP.NET Core runtime, for .NET 6 framework, and the third thing is trying to add this machine into the agent. So we have installed the agent. Now let's try to configure CD part, which is trying to target these virtual machines. So any virtual machine you want to target it, so you need to install agent so that the DevOps server can try to use these machines and try to install the web application. So let's try to do that activity. So guys, last time we had created one web application build pipeline. So I'm using the same one as I have mentioned earlier. This video is the extension of the old one. So we had given the name deploy web app. So I will select this one and then click edit. So what we were trying to do, we are trying to deploy MVC bundle to the Azure App Services plan. So if I click on that one, I have just renamed it. Previously I was using dev, and now I have given more specific name, which is deploy to App Service Web Application. So what I need to do here, I need to add another stage. Oops, sorry. So just select here, new stage. So that's quite important to see the difference. If you select this one, which is your already added stage, so if I select this one and then click add, it will add the stage here. So that will be multi-stage pipeline, right? So it will add, for example, if you're trying to deploy in dev, then QA, and then production, so it behaves like this. But if I have selected this one, which is my artifact, so just try to make sure you have your selection correct. So if I select this one, which I need to do, so select this one and then try to click add. So, and then click on new stage. So it will try to add a new stage. So that means you are having multiple targets for deployment. So one is the app services plan, the other one is virtual machines, and the third one could be you can deploy to the container. So there can be multiple targets. So what I'm doing, I need to select a template for this one because it is just simply a IaaS deployment. So let's see if there is any template. There should be. Yep. So here we go. So you can see there is a IaaS website deployment. So just select this particular template. So I'm going to apply this one. So the name I'm giving here, deploy to VMs, because I do have multiple virtual machines, right? So this is the name I am giving. Click on the close icon. Now you can see the small sign of exclamation, which is showing there is one job with 2 tasks, and we need to configure that one. Let's try to configure it. First of all, again, it's giving the name, create or update, keep this stuff default. I just want to bind it to the default website, which is port 80, but if you want to change it, you can do it. I'm just trying to keep things simple as of now. So just select the IaaS deployment, and you can see here you need to specify deployment group, which we have already created. So what we will do, we will try to select and then see our deployment group is listed or not. So we had created dev deployment group, which is already available. So just try to select this one. So I'm just keeping the thing simple. What I need to do, yep. So keep your artifacts is already selected here. So just leave it as it is. You don't need to change anything here in the IaaS web app manage, and similarly in the web app deploy. So keep things simple. Then you can, once you are understood the simplest thing, then you can start making changes in these options, and then that's how you will learn. So what I will do, I will save the pipeline, right? And I just want to make sure whether I have added both the virtual machines in my dev deployment group, or just only one. So let's go to the deployment groups. Click on the dev deployment group. Here you can see there is a target status, and in the target status you can see it is showing 2 online. And at the same time, it is also telling you have never deployed on these 2 virtual machines. So what it is trying to tell here, so I have 2 targets in the virtual machines. I have VM1 and VM2, which we have created in the Azure portal. And these are the two machines where we are trying to deploy our website. So that means our script has successfully executed. So these machines are registered, the agent has been installed, and now we are going to trigger a build, and then it should deploy on these virtual machines. So let's go to the releases, and because our CI part is exactly the same, I'm not changing anything in the CI. So I will just I have already changed the CD part, which is trying to add a new stage and which is targeting to deploy on the virtual machines, right? So what I will do, I will let's go to the pipe. Let's try to edit this one first. Just want to make sure. Okay, continuous deployment trigger, continuous deployment, and continuous deployment trigger. Okay, that's all good. So that's what I need to see. What I will do, I will try to create a new release by clicking here, create release, and yeah, and try to deploy on the app services, and at the same time it is trying to deploy on the virtual machines. So the bundle is already there. I will create the build, and the release 5 has been created. So let's click on this one and then see it is showing two targets. When we look into the virtual machines, so it is showing two targets, especially this one, and it is also trying to deploy it on the app services plan web application. So that's the beauty of the release management pipeline. So you can have multiple targets, right? So at the same time, you don't need to waste time to go on machine 1 and machine 2 and deploy on all the machines manually, or at the same time, if you are deploying on the cloud or any other cloud, you don't need to worry about which data center you are deploying. So let's assume you are deploying in one data center, and which is using app services web application, and the other data center is using virtual machines, and maybe you have scenario where you're trying to deploy on the containers. So in reality, all the three things are not at the same time. So either you are using virtual machines or app services or containers, but I'm just trying to explain. So what you can do, you can have multiple stages, right? And you can deploy to multiple targets in just only one go. So you have only one build and you can deploy many times. So build once, deploy many times. So that's the theory behind the scene. So here you can see both the stages has showing green tick mark, which means the release has been successfully deployed on both of them. So which is pretty cool. So you don't need to, you don't need to do it manually or one by one. So that's all the, happening in parallel. So if you want to look into the details of the logs or the step, so that's how it looks like. So for the detailed logs, you can see, you can go into each step and then try to see what it was doing behind the scene, any step, or similarly for the virtual machines. So you can look into the high level summary. You can see which commit triggered the build. So there were 3 commits, so you can look into that one. So that these were the commits. If there is any work item associated with this one, you can also look into that one. So that's pretty cool, isn't it? So yeah, so what we need to do finally, we need to test whether the website has been deployed. Are we able to access it or not? So let's try to look into that one. So let's go to the Azure portal and try to go onto the virtual machines, right? And then let's select VM001. And you can see here, this is the public IP address. So I will try to use this public IP address. Okay, sorry, just try to go back here. VM001, copy that one. And then I will try to paste that one into my browser, right? And then enter. See, I can access the web application outside of the virtual machine. So I'm using at the moment HTTP to look into the another virtual machine, which is VM2, and then try to copy its IP address, public IP, which is this one. Try to copy this one and then see if that machine is also working or not. So let's try to paste that one and then see if it is working. And you can see the website is not loading for VM2. So what's the issue? Let's try to look into that one. That goes back to the virtual machine creation step. So if you remember, when we were creating the virtual machines VM001 and VM002, it was asking the protocols for connecting to the virtual machine. For VM1, we have selected HTTP and HTTPS and remote desktop connection RDP. However, for VM002, we just use RDP, so we have not allowed HTTP. So this is one of the reason. VM1 we can access it, but the VM2 we are not able to access it. So if I go to the networking of VM001, so you need to just click under settings, so networking, and then you can see the list of protocols which are supported. So you can see RDP, HTTP and HTTPS. So that's what the role is configured. However, in case of VM002, if you again go to the networking, you can see only RDP is allowed. So there is no rule for HTTP and HTTPS. So what we will do, I will try to add a new rule. So just click on add inbound port rules. So for the inward traffic, so just click on that one, and it could be any source. It could be I'm allowing any ports. So, but for which service, I just need to select HTTP, and of course HTTP is on port 80. So leave the priority and the port name default one. So I will just click on add. So just click on that one, it will be adding and it will be there shortly. So at the moment, yeah, so you can see created security rule, and if you can see, it is also showing in the list port 80, right? So what I will do, I will try to refresh that one, come back again, networking, yep, so RDP port 8080. So what we will do, let's try to go back again and see. So that's how you can do it. At the moment, I'm not doing any load balancing for the traffic, but if you wish, you can do it. You can divide the traffic between the virtual machines. So that's how usually we do, but this is just only to show if we are using different virtual machines and how we are creating it. So in terms of allowing the protocol, so I just want to show if you are selecting it by default, and if you forgot to do it, so you don't need to worry at all. You can add the rule later on. So one last thing I just want to show you, although it's not my topic, so but I love to show it. So what I want to show it here, I guess that's in, sorry, overview. So what at the moment you are trying to access this machine with IP address. What you can do, you can use DNS. So if you see the DNS is not configured at the moment, but you can configure it. So you just need to click on not configured hyperlink, and then it will take you to the configuration screen. So it will select the configuration, and here you can see it is asking DNS label optional, right? And the domain it will be using is australiasoutheast.cloudapp.azure.com. The reason Australia Southeast, because I have selected Australia Southeast region as a data center. So what I will do, I need to give some unique names. So let's say DevOps. So this name is available. You can see the small green tick. So that means this name is available and we can use this one. And I'm just leaving all these stuff as default because I don't want to create it complex. And just click on save on top. So try to save this one. And similarly, what we can do, we can configure here for VM2. I will just say DevOps. Ideally, I should say DevOps 1, but because it's already taken, so I will say DevOps 2. Yep, it's available. So I will save this one. And now, once it will save, we will try to go overview, and you can see the DNS name is configured now. So what I will do, I will open a new tab, and then first of all I will open DevOps, hit enter, and at the same time try to go another tab, DevOps 2, and then see whether we are able to access from DNS or not. Yes, you can see you have configured a DNS and you are able to access the this website from the DNS name, so DevOps 1. So that's how you can see. And similarly for this one, DevOps 2, we are able to access it. So in reality, in real life applications, what you can do, you can configure your custom DNS as well, but that's a different topic. So, but it's not too hard to configure it. So you can configure or create the alias, the real DNS, and then it will be using your actual DNS, for example, abc.co.nz or abc.com. So guys, hopefully you have learned something in this video, and that's pretty easy to configure CI/CD pipeline. And the last thing, if you wish, you can do, you can make a change into your application and then see if it is able to deploy on the virtual machines or not. I am doing a simple change. Welcome to CI/CD automation. Let's say deploy to VMs and app service web app. So that is a simple change, and then try to commit this one, new message for VMs, commit all and push. Yep, so it has pushed my changes. That's all good. And the build should be triggered automatically now. So if I go on to the pipelines, I can see new message for VMs. So the build is triggered, and shortly it will deploy to VMs and virtual app services. So we can see it has created a release 6, which is a new release. It's all automatically. So once it has compiled the code, so it has created a build bundle. So new artifact is available here, and now it is doing continuous deployment. So you can see it's in progress. So it's trying to deploy on app services and at the same time to the virtual machines. So shortly it will be available. So you can see the deployment is completed. So it has successfully deployed build on the web app on the app services plan and on the virtual machines. So let's try to look into that one. So this time what we will do, we will try to go into the app services plan first, try to copy the URL and then see if it is working. In fact, just click on that one. Yep. So we can see the updated message. So deploy to VMs and app services web app. So that's what we have added. So that's pretty good. And at the same time, just try to look into the virtual machines. Yep. So I can see in VM1 and try to refresh VM2. Yep. So guys, you can see now once you have created the CI/CD pipeline, how easy it is to deploy on the app services plan or also on the VM. So you can deploy on multiple targets. So at the moment I have used only 2 different stacks in terms of deployments. So a web app and the virtual machines, but you can have as many as targets. So let's suppose if you need to deploy on 100 virtual machines, so how long will it take? So it will take, ages to deploy. So if it's quite simple and quite easy to deploy on multiple servers, so and seamless and consistent and in a secure way. So that's what the DevOps is. So thanks Microsoft for giving us such a seamless tool to deploy on the virtual machines and the app services plan. So hopefully guys, you have learned something new in this video. So if you like this video and if you have learned something, tell me in the comment, and please try to subscribe my channel and try to subscribe and like my video. Thank you very much guys, and see you in some other video. Bye.